Hi, everybody. Here we are. It's been so long. I'm sorry it's been so long. Life just, does its thing. So today's going to be hopefully mostly a work session, but I have a few things to show you. So I'm going to put that on my screen. Not as expert or quick at this as
Ooh, I like
Janet.
that.
Yeah, so let's see. We'll go to the slideshow. Can everybody see the black and white screen?
Yeah.
All right. Our magician's manual for invoking demons. That's why we're here, which is your magic door. It's all about the magic door, right?
Mhm.
Getting into our creativity. I was looking at Renaissance paintings, and books are everywhere. And so I got the idea that what if these books and all these religious paintings are grimoires? And that just delights me no end because they're in churches and in fancy houses and outside and angels and everything. When I was in, you guys aren't seeing my little Zoom window with the people moving around, are you?
Oh,
No. Okay. When I was in London, I was lucky enough. Tina Bedison got us tickets for a really special show that I didn't realize I was that excited about until I went there. I guess that's how it goes. Um, it was it was just called Medieval Women, but it was books. It was illuminated manuscripts. And what the people who curated this show pulled together were a giant collection of these beautiful, detailed manuscripts that hold the inner stories of these women who lived in the 1400s and onward. So even though they were formal, and let's say it was a recipe book, within this book these women told their stories about their relationships and their friendships and their daily life and their trials and being afraid about what they wore. So they were really inspiring to me because I realized that these ladies, even though it was a hard time to live in, right? That's Joan of Arc's time. It's right as the printing press was coming out. These ladies still found a way to tell their stories in a beautiful fashion.
mhm.
Here's a picture that's in one of the books, and she's having a vision. And so it's not like the whole book would be talking about, here are my visions, and would you please burn me? Because that was happening at the time. They would still put this in here and talk about it. You you all probably know my mild obsession with, for the first 58 years of my life, being petrified of nuns, and now I love them. They're so dear to me. And so I imagine that she's got her grimoire there and she's praying over it. I think that's what we're going to do in our next session is talk about the sacredness and what sort of rituals we're going to do around our grimoires. I thought this one was interesting because the little girl is in the background there, looking on, hopefully learning the ways that her mom gets through trying times, and puts her devotion in this book. There's the angel with her grimoire. And this is another illumination of her visions. This lady was seeing the angel. And here's Mary Magdalene, a painting of Mary Magdalene. And she's got her jar, and she's got her book. So maybe she had recipes in her book for her anointing work. So the last time we met, we talked about getting a book. We talked about figuring out how you want your grimoire to feel. Do you want it to look really old? Is it on the computer? Is it in a binder? And then gathering stuff. And it looks like everybody has done something. I showed you, this is the cover of my grimoire with the stuff that I'm going to put in there sticking out. These are some of the pages that I have. My witch name Dandelion, and somebody from the Remembering the Songlines sent me a piece. Many people have sent me pieces about Dandelion, so I put that in there. I took time to, this is still pretty messy, but I did take the time to find my natal for my planets, the Chandra that goes with them, and I pasted them in there so that when Emma talks about my natal whatever Neptune, then I can quickly run to that page and find it. There's more of that. Black Moon Lilith, the South Node, the North Node. There's my Chiron. If you don't have the book and you want to put these in your journal, in your grimoire, write to me and tell me your degree, and I'll take a picture and send it to you. I just put a background. Remember, mine is an old cookbook with nice thick paper. So I either paint over that, like what you see here, that's just paint. And then the words are glued on top, or I put a pretty background and then put the words on top of that. This is just starting. This is spilling out of my Deep Soul writing journals when I, get downloads from these elders, archetypes. I wrote down the date when it first started, just as a reminder to me on a day when there are no voices. What am I doing? I'm racing around, I'm doing stuff. But I can see, no, that this my magical world is right next to me. It's always right there. I did this. I know it just looks a mess, but I love it because it has these precious lines that we got in Return of the Songlines of the Witches. And I say it's a memory device because there were 12, so it's a lot to remember. And I also put them there because what I ended up doing was I created this fiber doll, and those each of the witches, and Hejuana is the pink egg here. See, I'm having a hard time remembering. Blue flowers. Here's the earth for Mother Earth. Lucy. Oh, here's Ernst. I found a stone on the beach in Alaska with an E on it. And so this page, or this doll, relates back to this page in my book. So Ernst, I speak truth, I speak now. I can go between those when I need an influx of those witches' medicine. And remember. I've started a page for real life heroes. And I want to have people that are, well, Alexi's not alive anymore. I want to have like real people that are inspiring right in this minute. A page devoted to Black Moon Lilith. And then here's my stuff. I just laid out what's ready now to go in. So now I'm going to show the pages. Maybe you saw these. We'll just quickly go through them. This is what I collected from Facebook. Mary Totten has a fabulous video of her binder, and you can see how she attached the fabric inside and out, and a bunch of her pages that she did. So my friend Mary Totten loves aromatherapy, so I see her as this witch with her cauldron going, because what Mary Ellen does is makes these special blends for the chakras. And she turned her blends into pages in her book and took the time to draw the flowers and the plants that go in. So this is a perfect example of this is what Mary Ellen loves. And she's put this in her book. And every time she sees that book, it's going to give her that feeling. It's a mixture of her art and the plants. Even when it's wintertime outside, you get a sense of the smells, and then the oils that she's created. Some more pages, cedarwood, petitgrain. And you can see all her fun art supplies, because isn't that all I want to do is look at other people's art supplies? Here's Christine's bundle of loveliness. Maybe, Mary Ellen, is there anything that you want to say about these pages?
Um, just that I am also doing like I think I put that in the video too, that I can do a combination of putting the some pages in the plastic protectors, but also just like taking a piece of watercolor paper and putting my hole punches in it and
Beautiful.
using it that way too. So far that's where I'm at. And yeah, no, I think that's good.
And that's going to be a a really sensory combination of different textures in your book that I think over time is going to be so satisfying. That's a great idea. So Christine has gathered, she's using a binder also. Christine, do you want to say anything about, I think that, yeah, here's your third one, about what you've worked on here?
Yeah, these are why I am got my background on. I am finding, I'm looking actually for my one 23andMe report. And so
Yeah.
I'm pulling out all these binders. And these are things I've collected that are like the most important things for me. And I have my walls covered with them too. So I haven't gone to the step of what's the exact notebook. I just drew a card the other day. One of the cards was clean up your mess. So,
That's so rude.
so so what I'm getting is that this year will be, because it's a year of completion, pulling together the most important things. And my intention is to write a book. And there's several starts and several things, and soul writing and conscious writing and tips and everything. And I think I have lots of work to do. But I was very pleased to join you all and realize that I have been doing these kinds of things forever. And I do soul collage cards. And I have over 60 cards, and they have loved ones and
Mm.
different personality types that I have inside, and the women and the people who are important in my life. And I just surround myself with all that. So that's what this is making me realize. I have to have it around me visually, and, and it gets piled one thing on top of the other. So this is more of an organization opportunity. But I've always been in this kind of consciousness, and I'm
Mm.
enjoying learning more from all of you on your styles. And I'm just doing now art journals to put it all together. So this is fun.
Yeah, and having multiple, that's part of the puzzle that I created by using a book that's not a binder is, you know, am I going to mark off sections? Is it just going to be through time? So those are all the choices that you get to make. But having multiples, I think it's a great idea. I love the idea of genealogy in your book because when we see these grimoires in movies and in shows, this is something that is a treasure that's passed from mother to daughter to daughter to daughter over hundreds of years. And it's like the Bible with the names of all the babies that were born. What a beautiful addition that is, that I never even thought about that. Caitlin isn't here, but she posted these, a beautiful leather bound book with a tree and birds. And she had started with stickers. And, anybody who, I used to really frown on stickers until I saw them elevated to art in modern art. It was a while ago. I was in San Francisco, probably, I don't know, 25 years ago. And, stickers are part of our life now. So if you like stickers, use stickers. They can be so fun, so colorful, so expressive. And then that takes away the tension of feeling like, well, I have to draw it and I have to draw it perfectly. And so then I won't draw it, right? So grab some stickers if that's fun. It's childlike, it's playful. That's what we're doing here. This isn't serious. Um, Becca's beautiful book. Sandra, maybe that's what you were thinking of. She placed these seeds and little evergreens on her book. Beautiful. I love how the key fits into the little slot. There are so many ways um, to keep your book closed. And her pretty painting. And I see there's Mistos. So Becca, do you want to say anything? I want you to show your book. Let's do that when we finish with the slides because I'll spotlight you so that everybody can see how you put this in your book. Is there anything you want to say while we see your creations here?
So I would say I was really struggling on actually getting started because I was nervous about doing something wrong or damaging it, trying to watercolor directly into my book. And it was a big roadblock for me. And so I found that doing it on a separate piece of paper and then gluing it in really helped me to get rolling with it. And it's the same thing with, I would love to do some illuminations. I would love to do some watercolor herbs and things when I come to my herbalism recipes and lists. But I just felt like I don't want to do it directly on the page and then ruin it and have to deal with that. So it helped me to do it separately and then glue it in. That just felt less fraught with, I don't know, anxiety trying to do it that way. And then the other piece that I didn't even realize I've been doing this for so long, but I use OneNote to keep my life organized, and that includes my spiritual life. So a lot of the alchemy recipes I've got and things, a lot of my prayers, everything else, I keep color coded and organized in OneNote. And I only realized when I started looking at all this and I was like, I don't even know where all my stuff is, and getting it all together seems overwhelming. And then I realized I have it all coordinated and color coded on my computer.
Mm-hmm.
And so if anybody, has a way where they just want to be able to like copy paste stuff in, OneNote's amazing for categorizing and color coding and organizing and having everything in one place at your fingertips. And so that has also made it feel less overwhelming to me. I guess just feeling like, I have a spot where a lot of my inspirations and quotes and prayers and things, thoughts that I've had and written down are all available in one place where I can just go and find my favorite quotes and things in one spot too.
That's a great idea. It's such a good idea, and I totally get, because that journal is so beautiful, and I see it has deckled edges and dark stock, and how could you possibly make a mark in it? Because
I
oh my
know. It's all
God.
handmade paper that's all been
Right.
tea stained, and you just don't want to mess that up.
I know, which is and I have a few of those, and I rarely, I have one that I turned into a prayer book, but I think that's why I made mine in this the recipe book, because it didn't feel so precious. And I've also torn pages out or cut them out with an X-Acto, if I just can't stand it. So I mean, we just have to do it, right? What other work could be more worthy of a glorious book to put it in? And Camellia is showing us a cover. I'm assuming that's what this is.
Yes, yes, that is the cover of my grimoire. I had it just with um the yarn that I crocheted to make as a cover on a
Nice.
journal that I had.
So does it
And
wrap around, or is it
yes,
like a
it does.
sleeve?
It's front and back of my cover. And then I found this Snoopy, and the expression on his face, I thought, this is so perfect, because I, unlike Becca, who I really admire for her wanting to have everything perfect, I have kind of gone the other way, because I have never been the kind of person that can do everything perfectly. So I've embraced my imperfectness, and I've done it especially in my grimoire. So the first page, I don't know what else I had sent you. I've gone through a few pages, and it's quite a thick
Yeah, I
book.
don't have,
So
let you can show that. Let's do that. After, I think that's all I have. Yeah, so I was gonna suggest, if that sounds good, the last Fridays of the month, and I'll post before it. We can do it at 1 o'clock, or if noon is better, to have like a working lunch break for people with jobs. why don't we chime in about this on the Facebook group and
Okay.
see if we can come up with a good time. So let's see. Oh, Becca, I want you to show, okay, I'm gonna change this to the speaker view and
So for watercolors, what I was worried about was that the putting water-based glue on it was going to smear the pictures. So I used a matte clear spray on it first, just so that it sealed the watercolor. And then I haven't finished my final layer yet because I did Mod Podge underneath just to get it on there. And then I wanted to let all of that have time to dry in place. And then I need to do another coat over the top just to really seal the whole thing.
mhm.
But it was just on a piece of watercolor paper, and I just made sure I sealed it before gluing it in so that I didn't smear any of my watercolors or make them look muddy. And just stuck it directly on the page. And it definitely makes the pages thicker where they're not as easy to turn. But I
Yeah.
think that's any kind of scrapbooking venture. When you layer stuff up, I think that's what happens.
Well, I mean,
And it gives it so much character then. I think
That's true.
it's gonna feel so good over time.
Yeah, I agree.
Thank you for showing us. Camelia, do you want to hold up your book and show us pages?
Yeah, if I could. I'm on my phone, so I'm not sure how this is gonna work. The first page, I had read a book on grimoires when we first started this, and the first thing that this woman that wrote the book suggested was to trace our hand. Didn't mention which hand, I guess it didn't matter, but then put earth, air, wind, and fire as part of our fingers, and then our name in the middle. So it kind of solidifies this idea of the whole elements. And it just, so anyway, I started my grimoire with this, and I really like the idea. It's nothing fancy, but I like that. And then I just, as time went on, I started putting in this one. Here's a page of the crescent moon, which I didn't realize till recently that it looks like a C, which is my first initial. And just other things that I caught my eye that I decided to put in here. Like I said, mine is nothing organized at all. I love this sticker that I found. It says, "I put the hot and psychotic." I put that in there, and a woman meditating, and Snoopy at the typewriter, since I'm a writer. And so just anything that caught my eye. Like I said, nothing. I like the colors in this one with some stickers that I found. And then I have this one, which I just happened to find today. And I don't remember where I got it from, but I loved it. So I thought this is part of my grimoire. And
You got that for me.
oh, did I? Okay, because I've had it for a long time. I just found it today, and I thought, I don't know where I got this from, but it's got to go in my book. And then lastly, these also I got from you, except for the one I decided to put in my love notes from our and then top of that, I found this picture of the elements that I liked, and I decided to add that to it. And I've watercolored or put acrylic in the background of a lot of these. Didn't put too much thought into that either, but it was just, I'll add some color to this. And so I would paint it, let it dry, and then add it, whatever felt So that's all I've got so far, but it's just been fun because I haven't been thinking too much about it. It just kind of like as things come to me, or I find this or I find that I forgot I had, that I think to myself, this is perfect for my grimoire, which because it is not technical in any way, it just kind of, it's so much me, which might not make sense to anybody but me, but that's okay. And so yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm enjoying it. When I first started, I had no idea, where I was going with this. But the more I do it, the more fun it is, and the more I, find, I guess you could say, clues to my life that I want as part of my grimoire, and that's important to me. So, and I like the idea of the ancestry. I want to get more into that. I don't know if I'll just add some pictures of my ancestors in my book. That sounds like a good idea, or something that was written or painted by my ancestors that I have laying around somewhere. That sounds like a great idea. So
Yeah, beautiful. That's beautiful. Thank you for showing us some more. I see chat is busy. Oh my gosh, there's a lot in chat.
Another idea that I'm working on, Kathy, is oh, that was the page I showed you, is my mystic family call. I thought that was important to put in.
Yeah, that's all those things, these are, they're private, and you hide it under your bed if you have to. Or lock it like those really cool little diaries used to be. But yeah, this is yours, and it's whatever you want to put in there. So let's see. Oh my gosh, Bobby says the Mary Magdalene image looked like me. I like that. I'm gonna hang on to that. Yep, clean up our messes. I can do some of that too. Yeah, multiple of the books. Bobby, if you there are so many resources on YouTube, and if I did it again, I don't know if I did it again, but I do like a bullet journal kind of thing for my to-do list, and I have I have smaller journals, multiples of those. They're not Moleskin anymore, they're another brand, and they attach with an elastic into the one book. And so you could do it that way, so that they're all housed in one place. Once we stop talking, I'll remind me and I'll go grab mine, and you can see what I'm talking about. But it's a really handy way to just add stuff. The other thing you can do is add signatures if you're going to hand make a book, and we can do a class on that if you want. I have a really simple handmade book method that I've used. I showed it in our last session. And you can literally just put in a signature. So that's another way to make it a little bit more flexible if you don't want to have a binder. Bobby, I'll write it down, and I'll invite you into the Facebook group. Would it be better for everyone if I did emails instead of Facebook? I mean, I'll do both, but is everybody here on Facebook? I'm wondering if I need to get off Facebook. Yeah, so right, it's starting to feel funny.
either way is fine with me.
Because I could make an email group and just to make sure that people who aren't on Facebook, if you would like me to do that, go to the group now, and or in the chat, send me your email, okay? And I'll do both as we move forward.
Kathy, do you want me to resend my email even though you already have it, just so you have them all in one spot? I can just add it in the chat here. Or...
No, I will. I'll probably what I'll do is I'll go to the Facebook group, grab all of the names that I see, so people who aren't here today. And yeah, I have yours, so
okay,
so that's okay.
I'll send you my email as well.
Okay, thank you. Let's see, Ramani had to leave.
If it's okay, I can share some from my grimoire.
I would love to see. I'm gonna spotlight you so that we all can see.
So my grimoire is an old one that I had started years ago and discovered when you kicked off this whole grimoire, this grimoire sessions. But I know we've been talking about ancestors and stuff like that. So I actually, one of the ideas I had for this grimoire, but I actually kind of want it to be a hodgepodge of like everything, is I do actually have pages of ancestors. I actually just created this one a couple weeks ago.
Nice.
And then I have, you know, some pages like that. And then what I've been doing over the last couple of days, oh, this is my my old cat.
Oh,
he got a little page as well.
Oh, good.
And then, but what I've been doing is because I've, you know, been doing Soul Day and like been working on paintings and stuff like that. And I always have like extra paint. So I've just been throwing it onto the pages, and it's been fun to create like fun new pages or like random pieces of paper that I just throw the paint on them to use it up. But one thing, I forgot that I had this, and I stumbled across it like 2 days ago, and I was like, oh my God, I have to remember to share this. So this is not necessarily a grimoire, but I'm potentially gonna like take out some pages and add it to the other grimoire. But it was a kind of a pressed flower grimoire that I started.
Oh,
years ago.
Wow.
I don't remember when I started this, but there's like I couldn't even remember doing this. Like it was just so much fun to look back on this.
How did you attach them to the page?
It's actually just like shards of tape. I don't know if you can see like.
I do see that. Yeah. Okay.
And then, let me see. And there's some other ones that are more complex. Like this one, I did like a tape, cut out tape, and then put the flower inside. And I pressed them actually in the book. So I would create the background, put the flower in, and then press it for however long. Like this one too, like oops, it's all crossed inside of it. And this is the last one I got here. But this is fun. This is an orchid.
Oh, I love that.
Wow.
So yeah, this
Amazing.
like it was so fun to like find this.
Well, that seems like a treasure. I wonder if there's some time travel opportunities in there. You know, you could go back and ask your previous self, you know, why did you choose that flower that day? What does it mean to you? And see if there's, you know, did this is what we're talking a lot about for Art 5. Did your previous self do that for you now for some reason?
Yeah.
Is there medicine in those flowers from your past, younger Tony, to deal with now?
Well, it definitely reminded me of how fun it was to put this together.
Yeah.
Just kind of like looking back, like, is it a couple of them? I'm like, how did I even do that?
Yeah. Right.
So it was fun to kind of like figure out how I had put it together, and it was fun. And now I actually want to go. I need to go collect some flowers and continue doing that because it's fun. It's
a beautiful practice. It takes a steady hand. I don't know how you did the tape that with an X-Acto and.
Yeah.
Yeah, those of us that live in northern the northern part of the country have to wait until spring to find flowers. Lucky you, you know. Tony, you don't have to do that. So
Yeah.
Okay, so
On one too.
great. Okay, so I'm gonna write down those emails. I'm gonna stop the recording and then we can just do some working.